What's going on, guys? It's Wicked Moth back with another video. Today we'll be playing BU2. This game contains some dark themes which some viewers may find disturbing, such as death and suicide. If you do not feel comfortable with these themes, I highly recommend not playing. Birth and death are funny things. People end, they stop, they die. I'm not sure how to put it more bluntly, but the echoes of their life live on without them in the memories of the people they meet. A little snapshot of their existence contains within another's brain. And in the way we change people, our parents helped define who we are, our teachers, our friends. Without them, we wouldn't be who we are. And even when they're gone, we still have that part of them in us. And then we change the people we meet. So on and so forth. The echoes of life lives on. Even if the one it started with is long gone. I believe you can get quite clear glimpses of people who have died possibly hundreds or even thousands of years ago from a text they've written. I mean, it's kind of shocking that you can read a book by some poor soul that died forever ago, but their words are still there, clear as day. It's quite the sight. Oh my. Today something new will be born. It's your beautiful baby Bonnie. Hope you take care of her. You bring Bonnie home, swaddled in soft blankets. You set her delicately down in her crib. She quietly begins to cry. Oh, baby crying. What do? Give her some milk. She's probably hungry, so get her some breast milk is probably the best plan. There's a small problem though, you're a single dad. You try to acquire some breast milk, but unfortunately that only results in a few restraining orders. Oh shoot. Make sure you remember that baby formula exists, and that solves your current problem. Oh my. The next few years are comprised mostly of crying and pooping, and considering that I'm not a sadist, I'm not going to subject you to that. So I hope you don't mind, but there might be an itty bitty time skip. It's a wonderful spring day. The sun feels warm on your skin. There's a soothing breeze carrying the smell of flowers and newly blooming life. It's a perfect day to go on a walk with your little Bonnie. As you peacefully stroll along, a little white rabbit jumps out in front of you. Bonnie is simply enjoyed and reaches out towards it. But the second step, there's a sickening screech as the rabbit is now airborne. Oh boy. Being held in fierce talons piercing through its flesh, staining its white fur so very, very red. As the hawk swoops down into the distance, Bonnie looks up at you, tears in her eyes. What do? It's nature. Bonnie, please don't. I picked It's Nature. So, I guess this is story time. So I hope you guys have some snacks and some stuff like that. Okay, Bonnie cries a lot. When I say a lot, I mean a lot. Okay, I get you. When dinner time comes, she refuses to eat any meat on her plate. She vows to never consume the flesh of an innocent creature again. It probably didn't help that you were serving rabbit for dinner. Oh boy. But the next morning you cook some bacon. As you can imagine, her stink with vegetarianism didn't last as long as she hoped for. You see, Bonnie Belle looking up at you beaming, her face and hands a rainbow smudge of chalky marks. In her hand, she tightly clutches a scrunched piece of paper. She raises it up in triumph. It appears to be an incomprehensible mess of scribbles, a mess of overlapping chalky colors. You see, it's a deep, postmodern representation of the human soul. But Bonnabelli informs you that it is a dinosaur. I can see it. It's like right here. The little head, the little eyes right there, then the mouth, and that's a dinosaur's neck right there. Oh, I can see it. I can see it. Let me know if you guys can see it in the comment section below. Fills with glee. She's quite literally pouncing around with happiness. Eventually you both go back home and have a nice peaceful night's sleep. But when you awake, you discover every surface of your household have been covered in chalk. From the toilet to the carpet to the walls to your own face. You're filled with a burning emotion. You quickly run to Bonnie's, kick down the door, and you scream, "Oh my god, we're gonna be fucking rich." As your child's clearly the most prolific artist prodigy of this generation, you bring rounds a few famous art critics to appraise Bonnie's wondrous work. They are not exactly encouraging. They recommend a cleaner. You tell them to off. She's clearly ahead of her time. Dad? Are slugs jealous of snails? It's just snails have those little houses on top of their backs and slugs don't. It's just unfair. What is wrong with that slug's eyes, Bear? I don't think they have those kind of eyes, Bear. They don't have a place to hide and curl up in, or a nice place to sleep when it's cold outside. It just doesn't seem very nice. I think I hate you now, and with a response like that, I suddenly do too. Oh boy. I like slugs. You and I have had a long day wandering around the great outdoors, peeking at wildlife. As you sleepily wander home, the sun already setting, the sky a dark blue, the last traces of light saying goodbye to the world. From the shadows you hear a sickening crunch. Oh God, oh God, oh God, no. No, 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 I didn't mean to. Out of the darkness you see a poor crushed little snail under Bonnabelle's feet. Oh damn. Doesn't seem to want to reply. It is the dead of night and you hear a door slowly creaking open. There's a small scary voice. There's a monster under my bed. Alright. Bonnie looks back up at you, tears in her eyes. Bonnie tries to go back to bed, but ends up waking up another few times because of night terrors. Eventually decides to sit next to her bed until she falls asleep, to guard her from imaginary monsters. But imaginary or not, they're causing Bonnie quite the plight. Is that a word? You feel a bit silly standing on guard for non-existent creatures, but hey, Bonnie gets a good night's sleep. It is far more important than your fear of feeling a little silly. The air is cold, the sky is dark. Spooks and monsters abound, creeping through every shadow, with one thought burning in their mind. Holy, we're gonna eat a tummy of sweets. was Halloween. Perfect timing, you know what I'm saying? Bonnie's face is pressed up against our living room window, looking at the majesty of Halloween. Spooks, ghouls, and ghosties abound, and princesses from some inexplicable reason. Princesses, I don't know why, don't fit with that theme, don't make sense. Why? Oh, sorry, that's beside the point. And of this fateful day, you have the chance to choose what particular spook, ghosty, or ghoul your little Banabelle will dress up as. Oh boy, she is gonna be a priest. Ho, no, I don't want to pick that. What if? I was hoping we would run around talking about the 7 deadly sins. Who loves the anime? Let me know in the comment section below if you know what I'm talking about. There's an anime called The 7 Deadly Sins. Check it out. But let's get back into it. And proclaiming that night of descendants and gluttony, such as Halloween, is a abomination unto the eye of God. Oh jeez. But she decides to do some research on Halloween religion and discovers that originally people didn't hand out sweets. They handed out things called soul cakes. And for each soul cake eaten, a soul would be sent to heaven and be released from purgatory. Bonnie rather took this to heart and decided to eat as much candy as possible in an attempt to save as many souls from purgatory as she could. I would say she just used this as an excuse to eat copious amounts of candy, but she was very, very, very sick afterwards, I bet. And even after, the copious amount of stomach pain persistent. In her words, if I don't eat the candy, they will be stuck in purgatory forever. So I guess she's a paragon of moral code, but I was a little sick of cleaning up all that. It's a lovely autumn day. Orange leaves gently drifting along in the cold breeze, my bad. Once again, you're going from a walk with Bonnie. It feels peaceful. You feel quite content, numb to the world. Bonnie is happily skipping beside you. You can't even feel the cold breeze on your face. Everything's fine. Wait, you can't feel the cold breeze on your face? It's like November. You should probably be able to feel that. You try to reach out your arm. It doesn't seem to move. You realize that the soothing sensation of numbness, it felt quite calming at first, but now you can't feel your body. All the sensation you lived your whole life with, the feeling of air rushing in and out your lungs, your heartbeat, your clothes on your skin, and they were so omnipresent it just faded to the background. You forgot about them, but now it's gone. Its absence makes you feel so empty. You begin to slowly topple backwards. For a second you worry you'll hurt yourself when you hit the ground, but you remember at this point your body seems not to be capable of feeling anything, let alone pain. You look up at the sky, your vision begins to fuzz. There's a face, someone above you, someone you should really remember. Their mouth is coming as if they're yelling, shouting, calling out, but you can't seem to hear anything. You attempt to speak, to try and soothe that distressed soul. You try to speak, but somehow you can't manage to get the words out. You desperately try, repeating over and over in your head, but in the end, there's only silence. The last experience you'll ever have is of that single thought. When you have nothing else, you have me. When all hope is lost and reality is unbearable, look away from the world and you'll discover a whole new one. Tightly embrace in my arms. I hope you never look back. You hear a faint cry off in the distance. Suddenly cries are not so distant. A wave of noise hits you, crackling, hooting, screaming. What is that supposed to be, bro? That's like a frog or... What do you guys think? You tell me whether the makers of the soul's sounds are going through the most sensual joy of the worst pain you could imagine. You open your eyes, the noise suddenly stops. You see strange figures in front of you, small, cowering, a mixture of hope and fear on their twisted face. One slowly creeps towards you and it appears to attempt to bow, even though its body seemed rather unsuited to the position. It slutters. Please, please, save us. The world is big and scary, but now you're here. Everything will be okay. You can protect us from the monsters at night and feed us when we're hungry. Teach us what's the difference between right and wrong. Please, we beg you, the one who fell from the stars. Help us. Help us. I see fear in your heart, and you are right to be fearful. They appear to have set up some sort of feast to celebrate that coming of their new savior. They seem to be happily chirping to each other, like some sort of strange alien song, passing small cups of dirt water around as if they were wine, and happily munching on something that can be charitably describing as very, very stale bread. Meat! The manliest of food. You need a lot of protein to get muscle like this. It's fine if you don't get it. Only real men can understand. Even if I'm a girl, I'd definitely be more of a man than you. There's nothing quite as many as having a ton of meat in your mouth. Yeah, let's just take a step back from that. Irma! Not home. These creatures are worth as much as dirt to me. It makes sense that they should burrow through it like the worms they are. Dude, what a dig. Suddenly, your little world becomes very, very still. Details begin to blur and fuzzy over. There's a mind-breakingly loud noise that shatters glass, but replicated 1,000 times over. Everything's dark. Everything's pitch black. You can't see. Your little monster friends are running around in blind panic, with as little on earth of a clue as what's happening as you currently have. What the do you think you're doing? What is that thing? Being a badass boss, babe. What the do you think you're doing? Wait a second. Did I appear in a flash of lightning? What the is wrong with my hand? If you gave my dark eyeliner, by God, I'm slapping the out of us when we wake up. The evil apparition stares at you with fierce intensity. Oh no! The narrator did not just call me evil looking. I am not the bad guy here. Oh God, what are these meant to be? You're too old to be playing with dolls. What the do you think you're doing? The monster looks down with sheer disgust at the little creatures scurrying around in a blind panic at its feet. With this situation, it stamps down hard like an exterminator on a particular annoying cockroach. One of the tiny being's bodies explode beneath the weight of its foot. Its splattered remains begin to ooze gently across the floor. The helpless little creatures began to cry and shriek, "Please, stop it." Before the despicable monster can speak another word, you raise your hand. Alright guys, before it gets juicier, I hope you guys enjoyed that. If you did, let me know in the comment section below. I will probably make more of this video, of this game I should say, because I'm kind of getting into it. Let me know in the comment section below what kind of games you would like me to play, or games you would like me to play next. I love you guys. I will see you in the next video.